get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way.
Understand me, what I'm speaking on is like understand, like, you know, I work hard.
Yep.
And I love the game of football. That's all you really need to know. And, you know, I ain't disrespectful. I don't have off-the-field problems, so.
Shadur Sanders just dropped a bomb that has Rex Ryan looking like he accidentally texted the group chat instead of his therapist. The man who's never shy about hot takes might have finally cooked himself this time, and Shedur's response. Let's just say it wasn't made for ESPN's Family Hour. What secret did Rex think would stay buried? Oh, you're gonna want popcorn for this one, because this saga just went from football to full-blown fireworks.
This is a team that led the NFL in rushing attempts. They had 6 whopping rushing attempts to the running backs. What the hell are you doing?
Okay. Just when you thought the NFL offseason couldn't get any messier, Rex Ryan went and proved that a microphone in his hand is basically a self-destruct button. One offhand comment about black players later, and boom, the internet turned into a digital bonfire, with every sports fan, ex-linebacker, and barbershop philosopher weighing in.
Rex Ryan is a guy that been in the locker room. He's been a coach, he's been a player, he's been in the locker room. So he knows better. He knows better. He knows that confidence breeds confidence, especially with quarterbacks.
But the real spark came when Shadur Sanders decided he wasn't about to let this one slide. Because if Rex thought he could casually toss around outdated locker room wisdom and not catch heat, he clearly forgot who he was talking about.
God's patient with us as humans. We mess up at times, but I don't feel like he throw us away as individuals. So it's different things and different life lessons, you know, you got to go through. And I haven't went through this situation, you know, that I'm in ever. So it's really just a test.
See, Shadur isn't exactly built for the smile and ignore it generation. He's from the Deion Sanders school of confidence, where silence is for losing teams and self-doubt is for the opposing sideline. So, when Rex started running his mouth, Shadur fired back, not with anger, but with that signature cool that says, I could respond, or I could ruin your PR team's week, and that's exactly what he did. Within hours, social media was lit. Rex Ryan's name went from trending for his football takes to trending for all the wrong reasons, again. It was like deja vu for fans who've seen Rex go off script one too many times.
Rex Ryan, chill. Chill. I know you know football. Not challenging the fact if you know the game, obviously you coach the game. Not challenging that, but your ideology is way off base on this one. You saying that like you did every day at practice.
The man's been out of coaching for years, but somehow still finds a way to fumble every media appearance like it's 4th and inches, and he's allergic to subtlety. Meanwhile, Shedeur turned his clapback into a cultural moment, proving that sometimes the most dangerous weapon in sports isn't a cannon arm, it's a smartphone with perfect timing. And honestly, if you're loving how Shedeur flipped the script, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because the drama in this league isn't slowing down anytime soon.
And I have a little beef to pick with Rex Ryan. After what he said about Shadur Sanders, he is in no position to talk about Shadur Sanders. Okay, Rex Ryan has now had multiple chances to be successful in the NFL, and he blew it. He should have been in the film room longer. He is the laughingstock. Okay, when he was with the New York Jets, his entire career was marked by the butt fumble.
The beauty of Shedur's response was that it didn't scream outrage. It radiated that, I'm too successful for this nonsense energy. The kind of confidence that can only come from knowing your name carries more power than the insult ever could. He didn't have to explain the problem. He let Rex's words expose themselves like a bad call on instant replay. And suddenly, the NFL's biggest talking point wasn't about preseason rankings or draft picks. It was about something the league's been trying to sidestep for decades, the perception of black athletes. It's the same tired cycle. A media figure says something tone-deaf, claims it's taken out of context, then goes on a half-hearted apology tour that no one buys. But this time, it felt different. Because Shedur's response wasn't defensive, it was declarative. It shifted the spotlight from damage control to accountability.
I got a problem with the locker room and the PR team. With the Browns.
Okay.
It's a third-string quarterback being interviewed each and every week. Why? Like, why? Go into the quarterback room. Go in the training room. Go somewhere else. You're not the topic this week. Stop making it about you and make it about the team. But the team should do a better job protecting their young player.
And oh, did the internet have thoughts? Twitter turned into a digital courtroom. Half the country was ready to cancel Rex Ryan's access to all microphones indefinitely, while the other half tried to turn it into a freedom of speech debate, like every sports scandal eventually does. But in the middle of it all, Shedeur just kept being, well, Shedeur. Calm, composed, and slightly amused, like a man watching someone set their own career on fire while sipping from a designer cup. The funniest part? Rex clearly didn't expect it to blow up like this. You could almost hear the panic in the ESPN offices as the PR team typed, "We do not condone," faster than they ever typed a game summary. But the damage was already done.
He comes in, says he's going to win the Super Bowl, tries to get the entire city behind him, and he absolutely flopped on his face. Rex Ryan, you are a clown. Shadur Sanders is a better man than you, so don't ever talk about him again. Keep Shadur Sanders' name out of your mouth, Rex Ryan.
And for once, the backlash wasn't just from players or fans. It came from across the league. Coaches, analysts, even retired players who usually keep things diplomatic suddenly found themselves side-eyeing Rex like, "Bro, how many times are you going to do this?" Meanwhile, Shedeur became the accidental face of accountability. It wasn't even about defending himself. It was about drawing a line in a sport that's built entire empires off the backs of black athletes, while still struggling to give them consistent respect off the field. And that struck a chord, because Shedeur didn't just clap back. He forced the league and everyone watching to take a long, uncomfortable look at how much old-school thinking still lingers beneath all the progress talk. But here's where it gets deliciously ironic.
The National Football League did not collude or conspire against Shadur Sanders in the NFL. I have said, and I continue to maintain, the people around Shadur Sanders colluded and conspired to unintentionally sabotage that kid.
The more Rex tried to clarify what he meant, the worse it sounded. Every follow-up explanation came off like watching someone try to untangle Christmas lights blindfolded. Just knots, sparks, and bad decisions. The man who used to fire up locker rooms with motivational speeches was now firing up social media with damage control gone wrong. And the best part? Shedeur didn't have to lift another finger. His silence after that first response spoke louder than any press conference could.
Can we make this about Shadur Sanders? If you saw, Shadur Sanders gave a response to Rex Ryan, and now it did so happen to be the same day that Dylan Gabriel was named the starting quarterback. I can see how you might think that funny is money, or that money might be funny. However, nobody wants to hear from the third string quarterback. Don't you know that? The failed head coach Rex Ryan.
And that's when the bigger conversation took hold. It wasn't just about Rex Ryan anymore. It was about how the NFL still tiptoes around the topic of race like it's a penalty flag waiting to be thrown. From the quarterback debates to coaching opportunities, everyone started connecting dots they'd ignored before. Shedeur had accidentally started a movement just by standing up for himself. And in a league where image is everything, that made waves. Think about it. Rex Ryan's been around long enough to know better, but sometimes people get too comfortable behind the microphone, forgetting that the world they came from has changed. What used to be brushed off as locker room talk is now a full-blown accountability moment, and rightly so. Because in 2025, you can't just say something reckless and expect the world to shrug it off like a missed field goal.
ESPN ex-NFL coach Rex Ryan owed Shadur Sanders an apology. He lied on Shadur Sanders about he need to be sitting in the front row trying to learn the playbook. It's an embarrassment. He should be trying to get himself together to be QB1.
And honestly, it's poetic. The same Shedeur who's been accused of being too confident or too flashy ended up handling the whole thing with more composure than half the league's media veterans. The kid who grew up watching his dad revolutionize swagger in sports is now redefining how athletes respond to ignorance, with grace, humor, and just enough pettiness to make it entertaining. What makes it all so satisfying is the role reversal. For years, players had to play nice while coaches and commentators said whatever they wanted. Now, the new generation has a voice and a massive platform, and they're using it. Shedeur didn't just defend himself, he reminded everyone that respect in sports isn't optional, it's overdue. By the time the dust settled, Rex Ryan was trending for all the wrong reasons, and Shedeur's name was being celebrated everywhere from sports blogs to talk shows. The moment had turned from controversy to cultural commentary.
Got his information probably from Kevin Stefanski, trying to keep Shedeur down because his guys, Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel, he wants them to be the Cleveland Browns quarterback as long as he's the head coach.
Suddenly, everyone wanted to weigh in on what it meant for the league's image, for representation, for the kind of conversations that used to stay buried in the locker room. And through it all, Shedeur stayed unfazed. Because when you've got talent, confidence, and timing on your side, you don't need to shout. You just drop one perfectly placed response and watch the world do the rest. So now the question is, did Rex just hand Shedeur the biggest off-field win of his career without even realizing it? If you think this saga's just getting started, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next chapter in this NFL drama is going to be wild.